It turns out that I get a mini break, at least for a few hours until this day ends. And I also remember that there's a possibility I may get another one coming soon. Who knows what, after what I may be hearing tomorrow. And I remember one at the end of this month as well. So, you know, it's possible. It's possible that I may be getting a couple more short, big breaks. Yeah, like when I mean short, I mean like my 2.5 week big break, like last month. So, you know, it's a blessing, but then I got to look at bigger picture here. Um, I've been on the record and I've been saying it the last, you know, even just yesterday, the day before, I've said it for a while that my permanent happiness, joy, and peace is me getting my own permanent space and a new job. You know, I can take a week off, from my dump, but at the end of the day, I'm still going to be back, feeling the same old dull vibes as I've always felt, knowing what that dump is, you know. It's just been evidenced by so much of what happened, like, ever since the pandemic, and especially what transpired the last couple of years with, the business being what it is now and under the same leadership of the same company president. So, I can take a week, 2 weeks, a month off of my dump, and, when I come back, it's like, yeah, okay. Some guys will miss me and all that. I bet many will, but in the end, it's still the same. It's still going to be the same. The same vibes, same crap, same BS, you know? And whereas with my outside life, like I may be fortunate to have a couple more of these big breaks coming, if not the one at the end of this month. But, I got to really start looking at the bigger picture because, it's not very often that I'll ever, receive these blessings of having these short big breaks, like my 2.5 week big break, for example. That I said it before. I can't keep relying on that. I'm just hoping for that, and waiting for that, because at the end of the day, I'm still dealing with this same reality, and it's I mean, it's why I just need to continue working on what I need to work on in order for me to gain what I want. But it's like when it comes to the next short, break that I have, or that may be coming for me, then I may need to take advantage of that to, not only be competitive on my job hunting, but also just if I get to it, although it's so many, it's just so expensive just to, like, to find my own permanent space wherever I go, unless it's like a studio and all that. But it's like at this point I gotta do one first. I mean, but something tells me, and I told Neil and Nathan about this the other day, that I may be leaning towards doing the permanent space first, before finding a new job. And right now, it's just that's pretty much what I need. That's the one thing I've been trying so hard to just battle out. But I mean, with one dilemma I have really no control of, The other one I do, which is obviously my job situation. I've said it time and time again. So, you know, at the end of the day, I need both. I really do. Because I'm tired of you know, just dealing with my own sufferings. And especially after what the guy saw yesterday, I mean, it was really no group text incident that was like the last couple of Fridays, but still, I mean, it's they still those guys still saw me in beast mode, okay? So and it's this is why I said that this pain that I'm feeling, although it's more on the mental side, is worse than the chest issue that I experienced in 2019. Although I'll tell you that the level of that pain, yeah, it's very intense and scary. And yes, I've had fears of what may happen with my health going forward. I'm thinking it's a blockage, something like that. I get all that, but this here, you know it's a long lasting effect to where the unhappiness and the misery and the low and the low energy, the all-time low energy that I've been experiencing altogether, it has lasted much longer than this chest issue that pretty much lasted for like a month. And yes, once again, I know that was scary, but you know it was gonna take with those two, like, yes, I experienced anxiety, but at least with the chess one in 2019, all I needed was the outdoors, to free myself from the darkness of just seeing nothing but walls around me, like in a hospital. You know what I'm saying? So I just needed the outdoors to rid my anxiety, to rid my whatever other feelings that I have, that's leading to so much fear. Whereas here, I have the outdoors right now. I'm very limited on that because even now I might be involved in, having to deal with, a new responsibility as well. You know what I'm saying? So that's another reason that, to see my outdoor freedom being more and more limited. I'm telling you, it's never going to be like what it was before, with so many things changing and, possibly with me just, basically letting myself in a position like this, in a tough position, and that it's hard for me to just, as Rico had described it, with my job situation and my dump being there for 12 years. It's a hard band-aid to take off. I agree with that. It's a hard band-aid to peel off because it's stuck there for so long that, it's going to take more than just trying to peel it off. And that's how, that's how I'm describing my dilemmas here. This is no chess issue that I had in 2019, where it can be solved in like a month before things go back to normal for me. Yes, I had dealt with a period of unhappiness and misery while I had that, but at the same time, just really staying strong, trying to think positive. Here, it's unhappiness, misery, and just an all-time low energy at an all like I've never had before, and that's causing me to feel like I just have no hope at times. You know what I'm saying? Now I know it's not to the point where it's impossible for me to get out of this huge hole, but it's it's why, like, when I do these two, it shows me that I've already accomplished something big in my life. The fact that I'm able to gain these to have these two permanent happenings, as far as like my own permanent space and a new job. Because I've always been told, why don't you just take a month vacation, go somewhere. Yeah, but at this point, I don't need another long vacation. I need to get the hell out of that dump. I said it last night. I need to get the hell out of there ASAP. I'm sorry. Because every time I'm there, there's moments where I'm starting to feel crazy myself. Not the crazy like, just, like psycho crazy, but, just like what happened yesterday, that may end up being, another group text incident episode. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's what I mean. There's still going to be moments like that, and I've said it over and over. I said it, even on social media, even to Mari. It's going to take a new job for me to rid all of these feelings that I've had, so I can better myself, even mentally. And then from there, my therapy sessions will get better, So, I mean, I really just hate to sound like a broken record, but I'm being serious when I do this topic, because, these are the two solutions to solve this pain that I'm feeling. And they are harder to to obtain, to solve, but I mean, it is going to take a lot of risks compared to a chest issue that was more on the physical end for me. That it just takes seeing the doctor and X-ray and some acupuncture to rid that, slowly but surely, right? But here it's something else, and it's been a long-lasting effect, unfortunately, that it's just a long-lasting effect to where it's it's going to take small steps and small victories, because there's really nothing else I can do other than you take these risks. And so, I have to continue doing what I'm doing, because in the end, the more I continue to put up with the same cycle, and I'm talking especially with these two dilemmas, the worse I'm going to feel this kind of pain, that in the end, I'm the one that's gonna have the worst suffering in life. And, say what you want about the chest issue, but, as it pertains to this topic right here, yes, right now I'm still in this short break that's going to last for maybe a few more hours, and obviously maybe another one coming up, who knows, depending on what I hear tomorrow and all that. And I know one for sure I'll get at the end of this month. But then again, I can't keep waiting. I gotta work my way to having these permanent happenings, to where I can gain my permanent happiness, peace, and joy. That I need that. I need that permanently, so I don't have to be dealing with the same old sufferings that I've been dealing with for a long time already. Taking a week vacation for my dump, that's not going to solve it. Having these short, big breaks for like 1 or 2 weeks, that ain't enough either. So at some point, everyone's done this. You know what I'm saying? It's doable. But for me, I gotta learn. So I gotta, it just takes a lot of risks, and I gotta take it one by one. I gotta figure it out. So I'm gonna leave it at that, man. So I just really hope that I can make this happen, and if it has to be this month, great. Mostly when it comes to a new job, great. But I mean, at most, it's just gonna have to be that until, for me to take the next step, because I can't do both. I got to do one, which is more likely than not at this point a new job, in order for me to take the next step, which is gaining a permanent space, so that eventually I can get what I want, and then I'll become a much better person from there once I get a new job. Because like I said, better life decisions once I get a new job, period. And then, a new job will be the next step to doing the other option, and eventually that I will get what I want.